So, Buddha, Phowa, AmenPtah, Kwan Yin, Gabriel. Now Gabriel, if you remember, Gabriel has the horn. He blows the trumpet. He blew the trumpet which called us to the physical world, so the story goes. And there's a lot to that story. Gabriel is the guardian of the Ascension flame. In the white, connected with the white light, he helps us in our ascension process. Gabriel, with his Ga, that's like his trumpet, the sheer power of the Ga, the G, the Gimel, that activates and energizes the whole framework of vertical and horizontal. Also Gabriel, because he's the guardian of the Ascension flame, he's very, very connected to the vertical principle, to verticality. And they say when you chant the Gabriel in this way with the 4 other sacred names, he connects us to the high heavens. And not only energizing our vertical and horizontal lines. So when you chant these names, focus on the vowel sounds. The vowel sounds are always the holies, the holy of holies, the sacred. Very much focus on the first vowel sound. And it goes like this. Buddha, Phowa, AmenPtah, Kwan Yin, Gabriel, Buddha, Phowa, AmenPtah, Kwan Yin, Gabriel. You try to feel those sounds with your third eye. And I'm feeling my third eye very much right now, as a matter of fact. And the image, when I do this chanting, I actually think of a cross, because the Buddha and the Phowa, well, that's the vertical, activating the vertical lines. It's the vertical energy. So we've all seen like athletes in baseball games and so on, all kinds of games, or if you're Catholic, you know this very well. We've seen people cross themselves. And there are different ways of crossing yourselves, but it's all basically the same. You touch your third eye and your lower torso, or your heart and your lower torso for the vertical, and then you go from side to side and you make a cross over your body. For me, that's an enormously powerful movement. I feel the beauty of it, the strength of it. And look, a lot of people have trouble with the symbology of the cross and the suffering and the crucifixion. But in esoterica, the cross is the time-space dimension. As they say, we're all, in a way, crucified on the cross of time and space. It's not easy living in this time-space world, and we're all doing it, and we're all struggling our way through it. And it's the vertical, horizontal time-space. And I have no problem with the cross. The cross, to me, is much more than the crucifix that the Romans put Jesus on, as well as many others, including many, many Jewish people. So it does, for me, I see a cross in a church, it moves me deeply. And so when I do this chanting, I feel the cross. I feel as if I'm making the cross on my body, the Buddha and the Phowa, the AmenPtah, Kwan Yin, And then Gabriel. Gabriel, of course, an L conversion system, connecting us, of course, to the higher heavens, like all the archangels with the L at the end of their name. Now I'd like to discuss a great blessing for humankind, something that's not very well known at all, but could help us in amazing ways. And it's called, these are places existing on the etheric realms. Yep, they exist. And they are what's called Ascension Chambers. They're actual buildings, places where we could ask to go to in our light body to get healing on all levels: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. Like the way the map works, it works on all those levels as well. So I'd like to read you this definition of an Ascension Chamber by Dr. Joshua David Stone, and he was a very, very important world teacher and an open channel. He was connected to many great beings who gave him very sacred information, very important information for us at this time. So now I read. Okay? Ascension chambers have seats or columns through which light or some higher technology can pulse through your being to raise your vibration. These chambers could be likened to highly refined, high-tech health retreats on the inner or etheric realms. So these high-tech etheric health retreats, they're there, and we could all get there just by asking and intending. And if you play with it, you'll be feeling it. I'd like to read you the location of some of these places here on this same paper. It says location of Ascension Chambers, and there are Ascension Chambers at the universal level. I'm about to read a list of names, but there are also here on Earth. There are some here on Earth, and what's recommended is to work with the ones here on Earth. And well, actually, maybe I'll just read the names of the ones on Earth, because they have to be worked with before progressing to the different levels in the universe. So I'm going to read the Earth levels. The Ascension seat in Table Mountain, Wyoming, called the Atomic Accelerator. The Ascension seat in the Great Pyramid in the King's Chamber. The Ascension seat in Mount Shasta in Telos, the underground city 1 mile below Mount Shasta. The Ascension seat in Africa in an underground extraterrestrial craft. The Ascension seat in the center of Middle Earth in Melchizedek's golden chamber. The Ascension seat in Serapis Bay's Ascension retreat in Luxor, on the inner plains of Luxor, Egypt. So, I've gone to these places. They all have a different quality of energy. They all feel great and different. And okay, maybe you're asking yourselves the question, okay, Eliyahu, if you're doing the map coning and you're going to all these Ascension Chambers, why don't you just ask them and to help you get out of this wheelchair? And that's a very good question. Of course I do ask, and my health is very good, and I have a lot of improvements. But, I mean, what I understand is they have to